Hey, I'm meteorologist Doug Myers with the latest look at your forecast. High temperatures yesterday, really nice, especially considering what's going to be taking place over the coming days. Upper 80s for most areas, even stayed at the low 80s in Marysville in Kansas City. And winds weren't too bad. Winds were out of the north-northwest, at times 10 to 15 miles per hour in the afternoon. And I know it's cut off a little bit for today, but it's still going to be near 10, even 15 miles per hour at times. But the big weather story will be more of a south-southeasterly wind. So we get that shift in the winds, and that is the reason why we're going to be a little bit warmer today and more in the low to mid 90s. And yes, there will still be some 80s, especially northeast of Topeka and extreme northeastern Kansas, where the relatively cooler air mass will still be in place. The bottom line is we are going to start the transition to hotter days ahead. In fact, Saturday through Wednesday, we are looking at some extreme heat in place that will be with us for a while, at least through Wednesday. Maybe some signs of some cooler temperatures by Thursday and Friday. Now, I'm going to show you supercast with clouds and precipitation, which there won't be much of it here, probably in about 2-3 minutes. But I want to take this time to go over the uncertainties of what to expect with our temperatures over these next couple of days. Now, I've been talking about this all summer long, and if you haven't been seeing this or heard about this explanation, here we go again. The higher the humidity, the cooler the temperature will be, and vice versa. Keep that in mind as we go over what we're going to be looking at here in just a second. So this is our short-term in-house computer model. I'm just going to walk you through what we're looking at as far as dew points are concerned for Saturday. Morning dew points are going to be around 70. That's very humid. And then as we go throughout the day, we do usher in a little bit drier air in some areas, but in other areas, not so much. So when that happens, that is going to allow for a lot hotter air temperatures to be with us. For those that stay humid, it's not going to get quite as hot. So that's the reason why we're talking about a high of only 96 in Hiawatha for tomorrow afternoon, but up to 115 in Manhattan. Now, can it get that hot? Probably not. It's possible. But you get the idea that the reason why we're able to get a lot of these 107s to 115s is because of that drier air moving in. And the reason why it's staying in 100 in Lawrence, 103 in Holton, 96 in Hiawatha is because the humidity stays very, very high. And then as we head into Sunday, we are going to be looking at temperatures staying in the 90s north of I-70, but a lot hotter south of I-70. Why? Because it's probably going to stay more humid north of I-70 as maybe we start to usher in some drier air south of I-70. But when it's all said and done, we're talking about heat index values, and I know that excessive heat warning or heat watch graphic indicated about 105 to 110, but I added a plus just because there are some models that are indicating us getting up to 115 at times. And then as we head into Sunday, again, we're back up close to 115. All right, so that's our in-house computer model. Just keep that in the back of your mind. This is the European model, and showing that dew points will be in the low to mid 60s early in the morning, but then drier air moves in. So it's going to be cooler than 60 for the dew point, which means it's probably going to be in the 50s, maybe even cooler than that by Saturday afternoon for everyone in northeast Kansas. So unlike our in-house model, we're not seeing that humidity staying high in extreme northeastern Kansas. And then it still stays low on Sunday for most areas, still staying below 60 degrees. So what does that mean for temperatures? Well, temperatures are going to be a bit on the hot side for Saturday and staying on the hot side for Sunday. Most spots getting into the 105 to 110 degree range. Heat index values, though, are a little bit cooler than the first model that we went through. Okay, but we're still looking at 105 to 110, even with the drier air in place. When it's all said and done, I don't care what the humidity is. Obviously, it's going to help if it's drier air. That does help. But the temperatures are going to be hotter. And at the end of the day, the feels like temperature is going to be between 105 and 115. That's the end conclusion. That's when it's all said and done. When you look at your temperature on your phone, on what the temperature is I know Android phones have this, that you can see the temperature on your home screen. The iPhones don't necessarily have that. You have to actually open the app to look at the temperature. When you watch that temperature throughout the day, even if it's cooler than our current forecast is indicating, that's probably because it's less humid. If it's hotter than we're currently forecasting, it's probably because if it's cooler than we're forecasting, it's more humid, and vice versa. But at the end of the day, it feels like temperature is going to be pretty consistent no matter where you are in northeast Kansas, and at least 105. Most spots up to 110, some areas 110 to 115. That is the main takeaway, not only for the weekend, but also for much of next week. And you can see, other than a few clouds here and there, especially on Saturday, there's going to be lots of sunshine over the next 3 days. So we'll watch that. And then it's also going to determine, lows will probably have the biggest factor at night. If we have dry enough air at night, that could allow for cooler temperatures to be with us. If it stays humid, that means warmer temperatures will be with us. But during the day, yeah, there will be a difference in temperatures, but the feels like temperature will probably be about the same. So just be aware of that. There are some signs it does cool down by the time we get into Friday and into next weekend. How much cooler? There's some uncertainty in that aspect. And so that'll be something to watch out for. But there are signs that it does get cooler beginning on Friday and lasting into next weekend. So stick with us, and we'll keep you updated over the next several days. But make sure that you're hydrating. Hydrate, start today. But start thinking about adjusting your plans for outdoor activities beginning this weekend and all into next week. And avoid excessive amount of outdoor activities, especially strenuous ones, during the late morning and afternoon hours. You're probably going to have a short period of time early in the morning where you're going to be able to do whatever you need to do. Otherwise, it gets hot very quickly. Keep that in mind. Have a great weekend. Stay safe and stay updated, and keep checking back in throughout the weekend for updates.